What's up, YouTube? Back with another video, and today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. So right off the bat, I'll tell you this is completely ad hoc. This was unplanned. If you were one of the 3 people that watched my video on Frankfurt, you heard me say that I was supposed to meet somebody today. It's coming in from the States. Well, and we had plans. Well, their plane was delayed because of weather, so I'm stuck for another 24 hours trying to figure out what to do. Since I didn't want to stay in the cesspool that Frankfurt has become, I thought I would come to Hanau and go see my very first army installation that I was ever on when I joined back in 2003. It's an area called Fliegerhorst, or Flieger Dump as everybody called it. I was here a couple years ago, and you could drive through the post still. They'd open it back up. Now I'm looking, I don't know if you can actually drive through here or not. I don't know if they're gonna actually, you can't drive through here. I don't know if they're gonna let me walk through here either. So hopefully I can at least get up close enough to take some photos, or this is gonna be the shortest video I've ever done. Okay, I'm past the little guard check thing, and I see a woman up on the actual base itself walking in like jogging pants and stuff, so I'm guessing she doesn't work here at all. So one of the first things I noticed, I'm sorry, let me start that sentence over. So I'm going to end up posting this video on 3 different places. I'll put it on my personal Facebook page, so all my friends that I used to be in the Army with here, you can see it. I'll put it on my regular YouTube page for all the viewers to watch. And then on Facebook, I also follow a group that's, you know, people who were stationed on Fliegerhorst here, so I'll post it there. So depending on which 3 of these groups you're watching, it's probably going to have some different meaning. So for those of you that are familiar with the area and were stationed here, you'll understand this. The one thing I noticed as I walked past back here, I forget her name, the lady that owned the little shop here on the left. You could either buy car insurance there, or that's where you would drop off your uniforms to get them dry cleaned and pressed back before the U.S. Army was wash and wear. That whole building's gone, so that's not there anymore. I thought when I was here a couple years ago, the little building itself was still there. You know, been closed for years, but that's gone. I'll go ahead and spin around here, and I can see the state flag and the EU flag and the old headquarters building here. I forgot what this was, where you had to check in and out. So I'll go ahead and spin around and show you. Of course, the main gate here is gone now. And probably depending on, those of you who were stationed here, probably depending on when you were here, there'll be different units. But I remember these were the old 501st MP barracks. And different units rotated in and out of here quite a bit. And like I said, this is where the MPs, there was a gate here, and you used to have to check in and out there, or sign in if you went off base and got drunk and lost your ID, which nobody ever did. Or when you came back from leave, you would have to sign in there before they moved that to the different unit headquarters. So one of the things you'll notice is the construction fences. So not too long after the base had closed for use, they completely blocked it off. You couldn't get on at all. I remember trying to drive up here, and there were like German police or security guards there. They wouldn't even let you on base. Well, they've built all this industrial area up back here now, so the base is open for you to drive through. But as you can see, there's these fences around it, so you can't actually get to the buildings themselves. And I forget if it was back in 2000, maybe 17 or 18, one of these buildings caught on fire, and I thought it was this one. These were before they shut the base down, these were the newest barracks that they had built. And the old style barracks kind of had the community showers in between. These were the first ones they built here that 2 rooms would share a bathroom in the middle, kind of like the college dormitory style. As I'm walking over here, I think the old headquarter buildings and everything's gone now. So I'm gonna walk around a little bit and see what's still left here. Now there is quite a bit of it left back here, more than I thought. And I should have actually walked around the other way. In fact, maybe I will. Maybe I'll take a stroll down the other side. There's a website you can go on. It's a German website. Maybe I'll try to find it and then post a link in the video description. It's a German website. You can go on and kind of see what they're doing with the area. I know a few years ago they'd sent construction crews into all these buildings to include the housing area at the back of the base here. They were tearing out all the old installation and things like that. I've heard they were going to use it for refugee housing. Then I heard they were going to convert it into industrial site office buildings and things like that. So I don't know 100% what they're going to do. So like I said, I'll try to find that website. But like I said, they have finally decided to do something with it after the property sat stagnant for, when did they close this down? 2000, 2006 or 2007. So it sat, stagnant for almost 13-14 years before they decided to do anything with it at all. So now I'm quickly seeing what I remember seeing when I drove through here a couple years ago. So you can drive down the main street, but then all the side streets that go in between the buildings and everything are fenced off, and the roads are almost overgrown, so you can't even get back to the military buildings. So there goes my tour pointing out everything. So a lot of the buildings are gone now, which were here before. Of course, you can still see the chapel. I think this was the old International Club, the I Club here. So there were barracks here, and then if this was the I Club, that means these barracks right across the street were actually my barracks, and the second room here on the first floor was my room. If that's what it is, I can't tell because I can't get close enough. Like I said, here's one of the roads, but it's fenced off, so you can't walk down through there anymore. On the other side of the street from where I was just showing you, I forget what all these buildings were, office buildings, and then it looks like back here at the end, that's where all the housing was. I think the base housing is just gone. I don't even see it anymore. So yeah, all the base housing's gone, but it does look like they've converted one of these buildings into like the administration building for the whole area, the project that's going on. So I'll walk over here and look what it says on the sign. No, I won't go look and see what's on the sign because it's all gated in. You can't get to it. I think these were actually a couple of the original buildings left from the base housing back here. Looks like they've repainted, maybe converted to something as well. And then it's on the back side of the main street I walked down. It's the back side of the buildings. I guess I'll walk over here because I did see a road down through the middle, so I don't have to walk back past that. Guy's got like a brush hog chewing up trees, but it's remote controlled, so he's just standing there while it's going along and eating all this stuff up. So I was stationed here from approximately May 2003, and then I believe I left in February or March 2005. In the middle of that, I did about a 15-month deployment to Iraq. So my boots on the ground, as they say, my time here in Germany during that tour was cut really short because of the deployment. And then when we came back, when they moved our unit, I used to crew the Alpha model Apache attack helicopters back then, and they had switched from the Alpha model to the Delta model, so from the analog to the digital helicopter. So they were shutting down all the Alpha model units over here, and we all had to go back to the States to do training. And our unit was, oh look, I could actually get in this building here. Maybe I'll just poke my head in here and look. When our unit got back there, they decided, we were supposed to go there, do some training, and come back to Germany. They decided, you guys aren't going back. So that was the story. And not much left, gutted. Some nice blackberry bushes though. See, in a lot of these buildings, the windows are open because these things would get moldy inside. There wasn't hardly any ventilation inside these, so they're probably, except for the windows that are broken out, they probably left the windows open to air the buildings out so they don't get black mold inside. One of the stories I remember about this base, I'll go ahead and share it since I'm walking all the way around the backside by the hangars now. So World War II, this was a large German Air Force, German Luftwaffe base. And this base was built with underground hangars. So if the aircraft were sitting outside the hangars, when the U.S. bombers were coming over, they would back the aircraft down inside underground. So when the Americans took the base over, they didn't know what to do with all these German aircraft. So they, from what I heard, they backed them down to the hangars, welded all the doors shut, and then flooded them. So supposedly, there's like an underground aviation graveyard here full of German World War II aircraft, all submerged underwater. So I'll walk back past this one more time. Like I said, these were the newest buildings that were built right before they shut it down, and look how it's just all fallen into a disrepair and misuse or unuse, non-use, I guess. I can even see the walls on the inside through the windows. There's nothing left in there. They've taken everything out. Pretty sad. So this was the this base was the headquarters for the 1st Armored Division 4th Brigade headquarters, which was over here where we're going, although I don't see the building anymore. The commander for that base was a Colonel Harris, or from 4th Brigade was Colonel Harris. the command sergeant major was Sergeant Major Sadler. Sergeant Major Sadler ended up retiring, and when I was still in Illesheim, Germany on base in 2000, this was probably 2009, 9, he moved down there as a civilian who was working for the flight operations, and him and I got talking quite a bit. And he told me, he said, this base is the reason he retired. He put over 30 years in, and he said that him and Colonel Harris put so much work into this base, getting, funding and everything. The international club I showed you, they secured a $2 million funding and did a $2 million upgrade, built these new barracks, everything. He said they did all this to try to, retrograde the base and build it up. And then right after they did that, they ended up turning it back to the Germans. And his own words, he said that took the wind out of his sails, and said he didn't have anything left after that. So kind of sad, huh? Yeah, I found a side road that actually will take me right in front of the old I Club. So back behind me here, some of the hangars. On the other side of this is where the flight line was, but I can see there's big buildings back there now, so they've covered up the flight line. Some other things I'm not seeing on the back side of the base here is there used to be a bunch of old, historically significant buildings here from World War II, and the German government wouldn't let the U.S. military tear them down, so they would have to mothball these buildings. They would effectively lock them up, seal them up, and just let them fall in on their own. And it's a big thing, like, you can't touch those. They're historically significant. I don't see any of those left here, so I guess once this industrial area started picking up, money talks, and I guess history's not more important than the almighty euro. Yeah, so these fences are not up around the buildings over here, which means I can walk right up to them. So pretty sure this is the I Club, and you guys got to help me out. Was the 4th Brigade headquarters the building right behind the I Club? These were barracks, I Club, my old barracks over here. But I don't remember where the headquarters building was. Maybe it's right behind. We'll walk back there in just a moment. Yep, this is it. It says community center, but it's the old International Club. Of course, it's all locked up. Oh, there's nothing left in there at all. So this was the building they did the $2 million upgrade on. Pretty sad, huh? Oh, you're kidding me, it's open. Yeah, I'm just gonna step right inside here. A little Deutsche Canteen over there. Yeah, this looks nothing like it used to. So, there's the I Club in 2021. And there's my old barracks. Used to be able to go in the door here on the end, and that was the second room right here on the ground floor, with the window open. Yep, that was my room right there. Small world. On the back side of my building, there's a bunch of, tractor trailers here parked. Funny, like here's one from Poland, but if you see, he's got the Ukrainian flag hanging up. Unfortunately, he's sleeping right, showing my shirt and my hat, so we'll see. The one from Ukraine, with the driver. Funny enough, when I was here a couple of years ago, I dropped somebody off. There was one of these trailers like this sleeping on the back side, and there were two guys, and they were walking across here, and I thought they were German, so I was talking to them in German, and they ended up being actually from Ukraine. There were some of these truck drivers here, and then they were looking for a place like buy cigarettes and sugar for their coffee, so I had my car then. I took them down to a small gas station, and they were able to buy this stuff. So I guess this is a pretty popular area for the Ukrainian drivers to run back and forth across Europe. But I don't get in trouble, but there's no doors on the front of my old barracks here, so I'm gonna look down the hallway, see if they still have that old worn down flat stone floor that was almost polished. No, definitely seen better days. They tore up all the old flooring. Yeah, there's some of it. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be around all this insulation. Showers down here. They had community showers. Looking a little bit different today. Guess there's no sense beating a dead horse. I'm sure all the buildings look the same on all the floors. The big building right behind the I Club here, this is what I was thinking was the 4th Brigade headquarters. And well, everything else is just it's gone. Flight line's taken over. Almost all the hangars are gone except that one. I may walk over there and see if the hangar's being used for something. May see if they'll let me just pop my head in and look at it. So this is the old hangar I used to work in. The lady here was nice enough to let me in. So now they use it to manufacture and sell farm equipment, the Bowers Machina. But you can see the old structures from the old hangar and stuff are still here. So it's all completely changed now. So thank you. Vielen Dank für vielen Dank für Hilfe mich suchen. So she was nice enough to show me. Here's some older pictures there. So this is all the military housing buildings that I was telling you about. She said, yeah, they're all gone. They tore all these down there. So we're right here. I walked down here and showed you and said I thought this was all gone. I turned around, walked back up and around. So there's the I Club, my old barracks. We're right here in this hangar now. So all this is gone down here. Okay, that was pretty cool that she took me in there and let me look at that. She was extremely nice. I didn't want to stay in there and film too long, and I didn't know if there was any, like, you know, intellectual property or whatever they call that on the manufacturing side, so I didn't want to film a whole lot. But I was in there talking to her, and she asked me, you want to go see the hangar? Because I told her I used to actually work in this hangar. So she thought that was funny, and she had to tell 3 or 4 of the workers that. But she was saying, like, it's all built up logistics around here. She said when they first got here, she first got here in 2015, this was all closed, so none of this was built. So this has only been built up in the last 6 years. But like I said, they're knocking down all these old buildings, as you can see, and it's just manufacturing going up. She said logistics, manufacturing going up everywhere here. So at least they're using the area for something now. But like I said, it's pretty cool to her to take me in there and show me that, and then it's pretty cool for her to show me those old pictures and, you know, what it looks like today. So I hopped the bus back downtown Hanau just to kind of walk around, see if some of the stuff's still here. So Whiskey A Go-Go Bar is still here. It's closed, unfortunately. It's a pretty cool area too. Now they have a Whiskey Go-Go thing set up out here for when they have events. This area down here is all new. Used to be part of like an old crappy mall, but this whole pedestrian area and these separate buildings with the different malls in here, it's all new. In fact, I went in I think they call it TK Maxx here. It's a knockoff of TJ Maxx. I think they're owned by the same people actually. And I was actually able to find some of my flavored coffee that I like. I can't find that in Ukraine, so that was nice. I'll walk over here in a little bit, but back behind this little small carousel set up over here where the buses are, this used to just be a big open parking lot. That's where all the taxis would come and park, and it was just, you know, paid parking area for people who were coming down on weekends. So they transformed that into basically the bus barn, a bus corral. All the buses come in, and they built all this up around it. So, like I said, this is all brand new here. So like I said, it's been quite a few years since the military base is closed here. Looks like Hanau's kind of bounced back. It really put a hurt on the economy because, you know, that was a big chunk of the money taken out of the economy. There was a town near the bases called Gelnhausen, and Gelnhausen was about 85% Americans that made up the population there. And of course, the landlords are charging a premium on rent, so they're making money hand over fist. But, you know, they closed the bases here, and overnight, Gelnhausen became a ghost town. So, you know, it's not just the money out of the economy, it's the money out of, you know, being spent in stores, it's the money out of the local business owner, like landlords' pockets too. So like I said, it looks like Hanau's bouncing back. I think it's going to be okay. So it's kind of nice to see it's looking a little better than it was before even. I should clarify something in my last statement, because maybe you're thinking, how did one military base shut down overseas and it caused a problem with a decent-sized city like Hanau? So one thing you have to understand, how at least Army bases work, especially overseas, they're not just a base all by themselves. They actually are a part of a garrison. So if you have, just say, helicopters on a base or tanks or something, you usually have those on one base, administrative personnel on another base. You have logistics on a different base. You have to have your housing usually on a different base, and then you have all these soldiers over here. And so you have to have support things for them, like, grocery stores, the post exchange, the big PX, and you have to have logistics for all that. So they usually spread out between quite a few different bases. Over in Germany, they call them kasernes. So Fliegerhorst was the kaserne that I was on earlier that housed all the helicopters, both Blackhawks and Apaches back then. Budigan, but I don't know if Budigan was actually part of the garrison. They had the Kiowa helicopters. Pioneer Kaserne, I believe, is where all the administrative work was done. Wolfgang, now I'm going to get one of these backwards. Wolfgang, I think, had the commissary and PX on it. And then there was Lamboy, that was an administrative Kaserne. There was Unterammergau. They were over and under some, I forget the name of the little kasernes, but there were like, 5 or 6 kasernes I can remember off the top of my head here. So I will try to look online and get a number of, at the peak, what the total number of kasernes was that comprised U.S. Army Garrison Hanau, and as well as the total number of soldiers. So I just wanted to clarify that, and to give you a little more of an effect. It wasn't just one base closed and it hurt the city and the surrounding area. It was multiple base closes. So not only multiple bases that closed. So like I said, not only do you have all the soldiers on the base and all the support personnel working for them and all that money is on the economy, then you also had a bunch of German nationals working on the bases as well. So those jobs went away. You have your DPW, Director of Public Works. They do all the infrastructure repairs on the building and stuff. So not only the money leave the economy, a lot of the jobs that people had for years just dried up as well. So kind of want to put that in a little context so you'd understand what a massive impact it actually was on the area. So, okay, well, now that we get that cleared up. So just a quick walk downtown to see what's still around. I've been sending people that I was stationed in the military here with photos. Of course, I'm hearing all the old stories and how much they missed hanging out here. So it's a great little town. Not a bad little city, great first tour. So if you're heading over to Germany, heading to Hessen, take a 15-minute train ride or 20-minute train ride east of Frankfurt to Hanau. Nice inner city here. I walked in the main area, kind of where the buses pull up now. It used to be their taxis, where all the buses come in. There's a huge mall they've built there and everything, so a really big pedestrian district with a bunch of little outdoor cafes and things. That's right down in the middle of the town, so it's there's plenty of stuff to do here. But like I said, this video is mostly for another nostalgic trip of mine, and to show a bunch of my former military brothers and sisters, what it looks like today. That was a lot of people's first station that I was with. I knew somebody that was there for 18 years, so that video and what that meant, actually being there at Fliegerhorst Kaserne, it's going to mean different things to different peoples. So I hope you enjoyed, taking this trip with me down memory lane, and as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.